Hey everybody, in this video I'm going to go over how to assemble my 3D printed concept design transformers animated Ravage, which transforms into a sort of a DJ station. Some of the things you might need, for example, I have a 1mm clean out bit here and a 1.25mm clean out bit here, and these are for the 1mm is for the pinholes in the 3D printed parts. For example, this I print flat like that, and sometimes I get an elephant's foot that actually seals that hole up. We want to clean that out so we can get our pins in. So I have these just in case, and I've already pre-drilled everything out to make sure everything fits together fine. We need some 4-40 machine screws or M3 equivalent screws, various lengths, and I'll have the lengths in the notes with the files. I just purchased 1 inch long screws, and I cut them the length as I need them with a pair of wire strippers here that have a 4-40 slot right there. We'll need some sort of crazy glue because there are some components that get glued together, and those are the items we'll deal with first and set aside while we do up our pins. Now this is just a rough printout that I did for this video to assemble this figure. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to glue some parts together. So we have his neck and his head, and they go together like this. And we're going to put some glue in here. I'm going to make sure I've got that all cleaned out of support materials. First, when you print these, you see there's a little ball socket there with some tabs. If you print it like that, which is the easiest way to print it without any supports, what will happen is your layer lines are the weakest points in your prints. So your layer lines will be in this direction with the tabs, and it will cause the tabs to be weak and they'll snap easy. So what I do is I print the neck like that on the bed. Of course I have some ugliness under here that I need to clean up, but that means my layer lines are like this and it doesn't affect the strength of my tabs. So just keep that in mind when you're printing out something like this. If you print them out, like if I print that out like that, the layer lines will go with the tabs and they'll be weak. But if I print it out, say like this, they don't impact each other. So just keep that in mind when you're printing something like this with tabs. Okay. So we'll apply some glue, and I just use some generic crazy glue, nothing fancy. Okay. Then we have our front legs. These are going to take the ball peg with the longest stem. Put a dab of glue in there. Set that aside. Grab the other side. That aside. Then we take our back legs and the ball peg with the next longest stem. There are 3 different ball pegs to print it with this. 2 for the rear legs, 2 for the front legs, and 1 for the neck. the side. And the one for the neck here, and I didn't clean the support material out of this ahead of time, so I don't recommend doing what I'm doing right now. Get a pair of gloves, so you'll risk slicing your finger. Okay, I took the rest of this off camera to do yeah, it's cleared out now. A little bit of glue in there. I think that's all we need the glue for. So. I'll set those things aside, let the glue dry, and we can do some of our assembly on our figure here. So we have this swing arm that will go here, and it comes out and it swings around to here, and we need a screw for that hole right there, and I already have some pre-cut. There we go. There we go. And on this side, we have this tab right here that screws, that slides in here like this. Like that. And put a screw in right there. And this tab comes down like this for the alt mode. Okay. Now we can start assembling some of our pins, and we're going to use some, what I do is I use these large paper clips, the 1mm diameter material, fairly easy to cut and manipulate. And what I'll do is I'll slide a pin in, and I'll use a pair of pliers or whatever I have on hand to get that in, and I'll apply a little bit of glue on the end once I have it in. These paper clips I have a plastic on them, and usually I take it off, but I forgot on this piece. So once I get that all the way in like that, I'll just cut off the excess and push that in, and I'll apply a little bit of glue right there just to ensure the pin doesn't fall out over time. Just a little bit, you don't need much. And then we do the same to the other side. Put it in, tap it up into place, and slide this pin in. Make sure this is lined up. There we go. And then a little bit of glue. can do, while we're waiting on the glue to dry, is we can assemble some of our feet. So we've got the lower front leg with this sliding pin, and it has a little edged end here, and that goes towards this back side, like that, right there. And then there's a screw hole here. And we have to grab the proper foot that goes with this one. So the back legs are different from the front legs. They're smaller. They don't have this back piece. And the front legs, there is a left and a right, and you can tell which one is which because the trim, the face of the record player has a border, and the foot that goes with it will have the border continued along it. So we can put that on there like that, and in the back of the foot there's a pinhole. There's a pinhole there, and there's the pin will go straight through into the toes. Go. That is all the way in, and we'll cut it, and then we'll glue it in place. To ensure the pin doesn't come out. And that's your foot with your ankle rocker. Then we'll do the other lower front leg. Again, you've got your sliding bracket, and you've got this stepped edge, and it goes towards the back side, like that. Okay, back legs, back lower legs, you're going to want your feet, to make sure you have the right foot, is this inside opening should be facing the back of the leg, and your leg, to ensure you have the right leg, because you could easily mistake the two. Right, so this, again, something to point here, this notch here at the top of the leg, okay, the arrows, first off, this play arrow should be facing in the direction from, this is the back side, this is the front side, and this notch, the lower side of it, is on the front. Okay, so if I were to put this foot here, which faces that direction, then I have the two opposite parts together. Okay. So again, the play button is facing is pointing in the direction that this leg is facing, and this notch here, the lower side of it is the front of this. So we're going to want this foot to go here, like that. Okay. Grab it. Need a longer one. We have our other leg. The arrow is facing that way. So that's how you tell one from the other. Now we've got some really tiny parts. We've got the this little part here that accommodates the joint, the double jointed back legs. It's going to slide in here, and we're going to grab the pin and put that in there. And this is a tricky one to line up too because it's so small. Okay, let's see, is our glue all set? I think so. So now we can take some of these components and put them together. So we can match up our sides here like this. Get in there. And that will go like that. And we need a pin for right there. That. Get that pin in, and we'll glue it. And I'm going to glue both sides. It just helps ensure that the pins don't come out, especially if you've accidentally loosened the holes a little too much. Okay, so our next step, these should be dry enough to work with, and there's a distinction between the left and the right of the top as well. The slot at the bottom of the upper leg, where it goes further on the inside, that is the front of the leg. So you're going to want to pair a bottom and the top like this with the cutout on the inside on the same side. The back should look like that. Slide that in there and grab a pin. Get that through to the other side and just take it back a little bit. Cut that. Push that in. And then a little bit of glue. And there's one back leg all complete. Now we'll do the other leg. Again. Our legs all done. And we've got these pins in place here. Make sure all our tabs are nice and lined up. Everything snaps together. That up, snap that together. Okay. Now we need to take this assembly here and that's the bottom, and that's the top. So we flip it like that, and then this is towards this side like that. So this is the Ravage side, and you want it facing with the high fidelity at the top and the plug-in at the bottom, and this right here like that. So you want it like that. And we'll take one of our pins. I'm going to put this in about halfway, so about to there, and then I'm going to cut it, and I'm going to put another one in the bottom, and then I'll glue both ends so that they don't fall out. And the only reason I'm doing that is I don't have, the paper clips I have aren't long enough to do this in one continuous piece without me trying to straighten the curves up, and I don't plan on doing that. I'm going to go in about there. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to push that in, and I'm going to glue that. Just a little bit of glue. All you need to hold that in. And then I'm going to take another one from the bottom. Put that in until I hit the other one. There, I hit the other one. Cut that. And then a little bit of glue there. And then we repeat on the other side. This, oh, sorry, the same process. Then let's put this into robot mode or Ravage mode and assemble him, because assemble all of our subcomponents. So we'll get his head in place. There we go. And then we'll get his leg. So which leg is this? Let's see. So this is this leg over here. I should just snap into place. Like that. And this other leg here, let's open that up. Should just snap into this socket like that. And then we'll take this back leg here, it'll snap into this socket here. Tight fit. There we go. And then this leg here. There we go. Flip that foot out. And there you go. All assembled. Ready for the show. And again, I went over the articulation in a previous video, but this is what he looks like. We've seen this before, and the transformation should be relatively easy. Get that foot up there. Get that foot up there. Bring this up, slide this around that way. On tab. This is a brand new one, and I didn't play around with the tab, so this guy's going to be a little stiff. Let me get something to work on. My tab's open here. Okay. Open them up like that, bring you up like that. His head sits right in here like that. Untab that. Bring this leg down. Tab that there. This foot folds in and sits right in here. So you bring this up, and that foot should sit right in that little pocket right there like that. And that's how you know the head will clear it. Put that foot, bring that forward some until that lines up, and everything there should be good. This goes back. Oh, wait. Pull that tab down right there. And line. Get that there. Bring this guy around like that. And what am I hitting here? Oh, that foot's up too high. Get down there. You get there. Get in your spot. There we go. So that head can get in there. And I made a mistake. I put this in wrong. Show you guys how to put it in right. Get there. So this should be flipped around and like that. It should match that profile. There we go. Okay, so flip that tab down like that. Make sure these things are all where they should be. And that tab will go in that little space right there. Make sure these aren't out of the way. Make sure these feet are where they gotta be. And something is not right here. This foot is up too high again. Turn it. Here we go. Hold on a second. What are these feet? There. Okay. Now we take this, and there's a tab that goes to a slot there. There's a tab that will go into a slot right there, like that. And there we go. I've got a little bit of a pin sticking in here I gotta shave off, but other than that, that's it. That's how he looks. So that's how you assemble my 3D printed concept design Transformers animated Ravage into his DJ station. So you got your amp, your big speaker here, your amp right there on both sides. Knights of Cybertron. You've got your high fidelity plug in there. Got your record player there and your record player there. Yep. Thanks for watching.